everybody, welcome back to Thumb FPV. Today we're going to go over my first digital drone and also my favorite drone that I have ever owned. This guy right here is pretty cool. This is the Roto Riot Skyliner out of Drib. Now this is a little different than it came in the box, but I do love the way this thing flies, and I'm going to tell you why, I'm going to tell you what I changed, I'm going to tell you how I changed it, and go from there. So the first thing that you're going to see is the Dell props, multi-blade props here. These come in pieces, you have to put them together. These are very cool, very flexible. I didn't know what to expect when I first got them. I thought they were probably going to be junk based on all the moving parts in them, everything like that. These are actually really good, really durable. I have trimmed the yard, I have trimmed trees, shrubs, bushes, everything, and these things take a hit and they keep on going. They're really, really solid. So I do like the Dell props. I went from regular props to those. Second thing I got on the back here, this you can get on Get FPV. These are the Lunimier AXII or A11s, A12s. I don't know how to say that, whatever. The long range antennas. I also do have the matching pads for the DJI goggles. The whole setup on that's like $160 if you're interested in getting that. There will be a link in the description below. Overall, before getting these, I was getting a nice solid mile range out of the drone. That's round trees, power lines, stuff like that. Added these on, and I got the rest of the patches for the actual goggles, and it kicked it up to a good solid half-mile extra. So you're looking at about a mile half, which is over mid-range, not quite, long range. So I have those on there, and the next thing we're going to go over is the stack. So as many of you know, the main go-to stack for the DJI quad setup for the larger 5 inches or whatever is the F60 Zeus, the F760s. They're okay, but they're not the greatest. The peak current is 65 amps. They did just release the new one, the F765, which has 75 amps. But the one that I have in here, the one I'm swearing by, that I put on all my drones now, is this guy right here. This is the Hobbywing X Rotor stack, 60 amp 4-in-1 flight controller. This guy right here has 80 amp burst, and it is also currently the cheapest out of all three if you go to race day quads. This is only $80. The F760 is like $90, and the F765 is like $113. So this is way better, and it's way cheaper. So this is what I've put in this drone. So on the flight controller here, I'll show you how I wired mine up at least. You have your UART1, your UART3. Your UART3 is over here with your 3-volt S-bus is right here. I went with that. My ground, my power. I chose to go with UART6, which is over here on the side, kind of out of the way behind the pads. 3 requires 3-volt to be hooked up, and then 1 typically messes with the USB, so I stuck away from that. So we have our white going to our TX here, our gray going to our RX, and then we have our video ground running directly outside of it. There is a 12-volt plug and other pads behind that, but just real quick, that's how I wired mine up. So I'm just going to take you through my beta flight setup here real quick. This isn't anything crazy, but on reports, like I said, do have the air unit hooked up to RX6. Make sure this is configured under MSP. My UART for serial receiver is under port 1 configuration. Let's see here. I do have it on D-Shot 600. I tried to go one shot with it. It did not care for that too much. Got to work around with a little bit of my RPM filtering here, whatever. But make sure your accelerometer is turned off. My PID tuning here, kind of low. My rates, filter settings, pretty much generic. Receiver tab, I don't have my receiver hooked up or anything like that, so that's not really a big thing. So here's a little bit of the flying I got out of it today. I didn't really push the limits too much. I was just finally happy to be able to have this thing back in the air. It has been a little bit. I tried messing around with some other flight controllers and stuff like that. I'd got some, like boxes through Get FPV. I really missed the TVS boxes from back in the day. I had some flight controllers from there, but just checking it out, and it is really, really smooth. I tell you what, aside from the props in the view right there, like for a minute, literally, it almost felt like I was flying a plane. It was that locked in. It was really, really nice. I couldn't believe it. A little bit of the tuning settings, a little bit of the new hardware on it. This is the Hobby Wing X rotor stack. Not gonna brag a little too much, but like any flying driving is literally like 30% vehicle, 70% driver. So yeah, I was having a little bit of fun. This is one of my favorites, another one of my favorite spots to fly. Unfortunately, in the summertime, this place is highly, highly packed. There are people here all day, every day. And the last time I came through here, we actually had to stop. One chick started freaking out because she was walking by. I had actually had this drone out before I had crashed it, and I had my Autel Evo doing a little flight maneuver out over the Bay Area there. And this lady starts freaking out. Don't hit me in the head! Don't hit me in the head! I was like, okay, we're done here, because I didn't want her to, people freak out and start doing dumb stuff or whatever. But again, I'm just going over this video here real quick. It's so smooth. It's like right on. The sensitivity of it is perfect. I love it. In and out of things, just drop down, smooth, pick right back up, forward. Doesn't tip too much. Get nice and low. The flips on it are really nice too. I love flying in the wintertime. Everything's so bright. It's working here trying to test some of the maneuverability and hit some corners. I do like to do a little freestyle flying every once in a while. This is not a freestyle flight video. Sometimes I like to get out and just cruise, just go off on an adventure. That's pretty much what I did in this video. Also, again, there were people in and out. I didn't want to get too much attention. A little bit of attention is good, as long as it's not by the wrong people. The police station literally is like a block away from this area. Don't need them showing up. So smooth, I love it. I do have to say, when I first got this, and it had the F760 stack on it, it was okay. It is so much better now. I highly recommend, if you're gonna do a swap out, to switch to this. Thanks you guys for watching.